Okay, so I mentioned the speaker that we're fixing up for the truck. Um, it came from Walmart. So while I was at Walmart, I found something. Oh my goodness. Don't tell my wife because she said we ain't got much money in the bank. In other words, don't spend no money on nothing you ain't got to spend money on. So she don't know about this. So she doesn't know that I spent money on it. Spent her money on it. Okay, so what is this? It's an OZARK trail knife. Now it's got that confounded convex grind. You all know I love a hollow grind. That's all well and good. That's fine. It is a drop point, and you almost want to think you see, which that's not a good grade of it, but I don't see any light. So it looks like it's pretty straight. It doesn't have a typical buck knife swoop to it. The blade is by no means a great finish. You can see that I don't know how they do this because the grinding lines are straight down, all the way down, and this is kind of swooped up. So I don't know how they end up with the grind lines being like that unless it's a shaped stone. And then I don't know. That doesn't even sound right. But anyway, so doesn't feel particularly sharp. And it is not shaving sharp, not even on the end. So I think this is mechanically ground. This feels like a plastic type handle. It's not uncomfortable. It's not bad at all. And the pocket clip is reversible from left to right hand carry, which is nice. I mean, that's good. The screws are inset. Now, I do see that the screws to the pocket clip are proud, sticking into the inside of the knife through the liner, and the blade clears it by a good probably eighth of an inch or better. So I don't think there's a potential of it hitting it, but this loosens up. And you close that, and you could booger up the tip of your blade on those screws. So it definitely could use those screws being trimmed a little shorter. But then again, it's probably reusing screws that are generically set for different size scales. So they may do different type scales or different thickness scales for these particular knives. The blade flexes, but it's really not wobbly by any means. Does seem to have a diminutive blade stop, and it's a dual blade stop. I mean, it could have bearings in it. And the only reason why I say that is because of the way it looks. It's a pretty good gap between the blade and the liners inside. So I have to wonder why. Usually your blade's going to fill the interior of your liner, but this doesn't. It's got a ball detent, which that's nice. It's got some large jimping on top. Your lockup is about halfway, about 50%. And you got a really great finger choil to get in there, choke up on that blade, and you've got a good protection back here. But of course, my little sharp, pudgy fingers don't reach the jimping and there's none back here, so that's kind of a moot point for me, but that's fine. That's no big deal. It feels good and solid. The pocket clip does not gouge or get into my fingers. It's a good medium. I'd say that's a good medium heavy pocket clip. It looks like it has a dual pivot pin. You got a screw on each side, so it's not captured. To arthritis stuff out the way. Screwdriver I forgot to put up a while ago. So what do I think about the knife overall? I think it has potential. What kind of steel is it? I don't know. Let's take a look. This is the TRAILMAN 8.5-inch folding knife, ball bearing open. So it does have ball bearings. I kind of figured it must, being as it had that large gap between the blade and the liners. Rubberized handle. Now there was another fixed blade that Walmart had that had a rubberized handle, and that's what it's not. It is not rubber, but it is not hard. You can feel. I mean, it just feels softer, but it's not soft. 4.5-inch rubberized handle, 4-inch stainless steel blade, so probably a 440. Ball bearing and reversible clip. That's pretty much all it says, other than the fact that it is the TRAILMAN, which I should have said at the beginning of the video, but you know what? I'm a goober. So it is, of course, a OZARK trail from Walmart. The texturing kind of on here on the edges reminds me of the Fossil from CRKT, which is a great knife. I love it. But it had, even in the center on it's just gnarly. It reminds you of a Fossil. This right here is more of a caveman style handle, in my opinion. But grip. I believe this knife is not going to get away from you. Again, with these, large appendages at each end of the handle, it's not even cramping my hands. And I don't say that I have large hands. I've just got fat, pudgy hands, short fingers. So I don't feel crowded. And normally with a knife that has large protrusions at each end of the handle like that, like the hilt and the pommel being stuck out like that, you would think that I would, but I don't. And because this handle is 4.5 inches, so that gives the room or real estate to get a good grip in there and not be crowded. Of course, you can get a hold of this thing however you want, and I think you're going to keep control of it. I don't think you're going to have issues. Of course, it's a cheap knife. It's like it's less than $8. So you're not out much. For a utility knife, a camping knife, a backpack knife, a truck knife, whatever you want to call it. I think this is quite well. It's got a lanyard loop, which everybody knows I really don't care about. Especially this size right here with no barrel in between. I believe that would be very hard on lanyards, so I wouldn't rely on a lanyard to keep track of this knife by any means. You have two spacers on your liner, and again the blade stop, it just seems to be underperforming. I mean, it's just small compared to the size of the knife, I assume. So there's no thumb stud, so that's a definite negative in my opinion. But you do have the back flipper, and it opens like a dream, of course. I guess you really don't need a thumb stud if you with this back flipper. So that's definitely a positive. Close is nice. Now, I'm always concerned about closing these knives, about taking and closing the blade on my finger. To be able to get that blade to close with that back flipper and still release it, you would have to. And even now, I mean, I'm barely on the edge of the release, and still, so you have no worries about, in my opinion, about closing this blade on your finger. Uh, I mean, you got more than enough opportunity to get out of the way. And as a matter of fact, I don't even think you could release the blade in. Well, that's finally in that. I mean, at the very by grabbing it back here, and it still catches. I can't push it. Okay, so that's what I have to do. I mean, you have to consciously try to hurt yourself closing this knife. And there's many knives that I have this liner lock that I've released, and I've closed that blade, and it just pop over faster than I can get my thumb out the way, and I've cut the top of my thumb many times, and that's been the cause of it. But again, that's a big old blade, big old knife. I think this is like I said, well suited for a truck knife slash camping knife. Throw it in a camp bag. I mean, you're talking about $8, so you're not out anything. It's a good size for slicing and dicing and cutting, shaving, and everything else. So food preparation, and I mean, for this price, grab two of them. Use one of them for hacking away on the campsite on anything, and the other one for food prep. I mean, and it closes up quite nice. This is in relation to the new. Which one is this one? I can't read. My eyes are just not clear enough. This is one of the new releases. This is a knife from Dan. As a matter of fact, outdoor equipment. It doesn't say. I think I'm not even going to try and guess at which one this is. It's early, and my brain's not functioning yet. So, as an idea, let's close it. So, as an idea, this is a comparison to one of the newer, the older new OZARKs, uh, and you can see a comparison here. And then opened. That's pivot pin to pivot pin, end to end. So you got a substantial amount of knife. And this is a excuse me, that's not the proper way to open that. A para 3 equivalent and para 2 equivalent. So it's about what and what with a para 2. The blade may be a tad bit longer. The handle is about the same length. So I think you got a good all around useful knife in this right here. So I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend this knife right here. I think you could do worse. And I think it'll hold up well enough for just, average daily use. I wouldn't carry it. I've got too many other good knives that I would carry long before and this right here would be a carry that I would do. It's more of a easier to carry knife. This is not something that I would say would be easy to carry due to the fact that it's just kind of large and cumbersome, more or less. But as far as just getting out there and using it, like I said, for a camp knife, a truck knife, or whatever backpack knife, you lose it. Who cares? get another one. Go grab another one out of the drawer. Get 4 or 5 of them. But in my experience with these cheaper OZARK knives, I don't wear them out and need to go grab the other one out of the drawer. And I guess that's why I only bought one of these, because several times I've bought two of these type knives, so that when one messed up, I would switch over to the other one. And so I found myself buying another knife entirely to start carrying before I ever used up the old one. So just grab one, grab two if you want, however you want to do. Definitely the OZARK TRAILMAN 8.5 inch folder from Walmart is a plus in my opinion. If you don't have one, grab it. Not much money. I think it's well worth it. We'll see you on the next one. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.